This episode is brought to you by Past Payments and Norton Abrasives. Before you started building that team, what were some of the big hurdles that really were standing in the way of just that first start of like bringing on those first couple hires that could really lead? What was the big challenge there?
That's a great question, Torlando. When I started, I'm a go-getter, a lot of energy. And I've got this attitude, like I can do it. I can do anything. And I feel like I can do most anything. The problem is, as your business grows, there's too much of that. And although you could do any one of those things or any several of those things, there's not enough time in the day to do them all. And my family was missing out. I had no friends. I was working 7 days a week, 12, 18 hours a day. And my business was succeeding, but my life was suffering. Those around me, especially my family and young kids, were suffering. And I came to the point of like, okay, I was at a decision point. I'm like, I'm either going to pull back or I'm going to build a team.
Yeah.
And I chose at that moment, I was going to build a team. So that was the first thing, is just making a decision. What do I want from my business?
Mm-hmm.
And, I met a guy recently, and a painter in another state. He called me and he said, yeah, I've been painting for 45 years. I'm going to die with a paintbrush in my hand. I don't want a big business. I love painting.
Yeah.
Great. And that was his vision, and he's living that. That's great for him. That wasn't for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you made that decision and you started, looking to assemble your team, where did you begin?
Well, the first thing I did is identified the things I hated doing the most, AKA the things I was most likely to avoid, was the worst at, and such. And so when I started my business, I did everything except the painting. I did the carpentry repairs, the sales, the marketing, the IT, the books, the phones, all of that.
Yeah.
And so as the business grew and I was succeeding with marketing and such, well, I need to hire someone to answer the phones and set appointments for me and to run the books. Now I need another salesperson. And just one by one, just started slicing up that pie to where what I was doing, where it was broad spectrum, slowly began to specialize and narrow down.
So I appreciate that you had the foresight to start with the things that you hated, because I think too many of us, myself included, I did this. I systematically delegated the things that I knew how to do the best, and and the things that I loved, because I didn't know how to do the other stuff. And so I was like, oh, I gotta figure out how to do all this other stuff. And I have a system for the painting. I have a system for the sales. Let me hand those off. And then I was just kind of like systematically giving myself the things that I didn't like. And I ended up with only the things that I hated. I had everything else delegated, and it just wasn't a very fun job, by the end of it.